Hey everyone, and thanks again for joining me for another Illustrator challenge. I hope everyone's having a great Friday. My name is Tyler Pate and I'll be your host. All week we've been promoting the new Share for Review feature in Adobe Illustrator, and I've been asking viewers to click on the Share Review link that's been in all the descriptions throughout the week, and give some notes, give some feedbacks on a piece of artwork that I've been working on, and I wanted your help to then make finished. So today we're going to walk through those notes and suggestions together, and we're going to add the final touches to my custom foodie playing card. And if you don't know what I mean, we're about to dive into it. So before we dive in, I wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who's tuned in this week for the daily streams and who's also give any comments or suggestions. So as we're working through this, let's just go ahead and bring up the window and comment section. Again, this is getting back to the share for review feature that we've been promoting all week. And honestly, this has been my first real attempt at using it, and it's pretty cool. I mean, this is going to be a game changer for any sort of client feedback, or if you're doing any sort of collaborations with other artists. Using this tool is a great way to really help that dialogue of getting the artwork where you want it, and also making those final touches. Okay, so let's dive in and see what we have. This was my artwork. This is my little foodie playing card that I created. So this hot dog. So I'm kind of referencing kind of what you would notice with like a Pokemon card or Digimon, all those types of, or Yu-Gi-Oh. You remember those? But I thought it'd be fun if we created a food version. Have these little food guys all tweaking out. This would be fun if we could then make it a little bit better with hopefully your help. So let's look at these comments. See, Andrew, can we make it hollow foil? That I really have thought about. It's like, how can I make this holographic? Because this is a rare card. This is a hot dog. I mean, this might as well be the rarest of them all. This is going to be the Charizard for our new playing cards. So what do we do? So we can look at his note. We can reply to his note. We can make it resolved, and once you make it resolved, that just takes it off the list, and you no longer have to see that. And then we could just also just delete comments too as we're going through all these. So make hollow foil. I think that's a great idea. I think this is where he marked up his note where it's circled. So I think I'm going to go ahead and resolve this, and let's make it a bit more holographic. So I had this nice, pretty simple gradient for the background, but it still doesn't have that pop. And I pulled some reference of something that I thought was a little more achievable. I like the way this Charizard right here looks. So maybe it's actually making the background more holographic. So let's see if that does the trick. It definitely is adding a lot to it. So let's see if we can adjust our gradient just a little bit, maybe adding some more colors in there. Again, a holographic gradient it's kind of a tricky one. I did some research on this leading up to the stream and trying to figure out what's the best holographic look for something we can achieve in Illustrator alone. And I think honestly, a gradient mesh would probably be the best, but those can be a bit time consuming for the time that we have. So I think I'm just gonna make one of these standard gradients work, and let's just adjust it a little bit. So I'm just gonna add a few more colors to our gradient preset until we get something that feels a bit like what we want. I think adding a blue in here would be nice. Something like that. Perfect. So all of these notes have been really, really fun to look at. And throughout the week, I've been kind of checking in and seeing how the comments have been. And it's really fun. And it's also something really nice to collaborate with other creatives or other designers or just people who have different opinions to push this design. And there's some things in here, it's like, oh, I didn't think of that, but I'm glad I saw that comment. So I'm going to start jumping into each one of these once I resolve this holographic look, and I want to get it just right. So I think we just need to keep adjusting these gradients a little bit. And I'm just, again, adjusting this gradient slider bar, just customizing it a little bit. See if we can maybe get just a little angle on it, stretch these out. I think we could use another color. You know, I think a white would actually be nice. Do something a little brighter. Yeah, this is definitely looking a little bit more holographic, which is great. Okay, we'll leave that as is for now, and let's move on. Let's see. We have a little emoji. This is looking good. Okay, perfect. We'll just go ahead and resolve that. Love it. So cool. Thanks, Patrick. We're gonna resolve. See, remove ketchup. Needs spicy mustard. All right, so that's a comment that we could work with. So should we remove the ketchup, or maybe we should just add some mustard and ketchup? That's how I grew up having hot dogs. So let's add the mustard. I'm gonna click into my design here. This ketchup was just created with just a stroke. So if we were to apply mustard, where would it be? I think most of the time we would kind of underlay it just a little bit, just laying down the basis of this. I'm gonna change my color to more of a mustard yellow, and then we're going to start adjusting it. I think that's probably a good color. Might make it a little darker because we're going to add a highlight to it. That'll be the brighter yellow. Let's go to our stroke. Let's make this a little thicker. Perfect. All right, let's adjust a little bit. I just created this with the pen tool, by the way, just plotting different points, and I'm going to go back, and what I'm doing now is just adjusting these curves just so that they look a little bit more realistic and smooth. I don't like the hard edges. Never looked that great at the end. And we can keep it loose. We don't have to have this perfect, because whenever I'm illustrating, especially things that are based on real world stuff, let's say squirting mustard on a hot dog, that's never really perfect. That's always just messy and all over the place. So that can be an advantage for us illustrating it. We can just use those errors as a fun way to make it perfect. Very nice and smooth. I think something like that. Gonna add another point. It's almost gonna be a braid of mustard and ketchup together. So this is interesting. I'm not quite sure how it should look, but I think it could be whatever we want. Because hot dog is a rare Pokemon card. But we're not making a Pokemon card, we're making a foodie card. Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch all the calories today. This right here might max us out. All right, I'm gonna send the mustard actually behind the ketchup. Like that. Okay, and next I'm going to select that same mustard that we just created, copy, paste into place. I'm going to adjust the color so it's a brighter yellow. This is going to be our highlight. And now I'm going to reduce that stroke a little bit. So now we get this nice little highlight on top of it, and I'm going to adjust it so that we can get a little more perspective on it. Just like that. And to make it even more detailed, I'm going to go back and start deleting some of these areas that technically shouldn't have a highlight. Because if we're going to have that top shape be the ketchup red, that should cast a shadow, which is going to hide some of the highlights on the mustard. Yeah, just like that. Just plotting a couple more points and deleting the line segments we don't need. Pretty straightforward. Oops. All right, now let's adjust these highlights just a little bit. Nice, so that's starting to give us the effect that we want. All very straightforward. And this is a good suggestion, so thanks again for giving us the comment. All right. Nice little detail there. All right. I'm actually going to adjust the ketchup highlight just a little bit, less pink. See if we can get that a little darker. Something like that. And you can move the highlight just a little bit. I'll group these and then adjust so it's similar to what we did with the ketchup. All right, perfect. So we've got that down. Let's go ahead and resolve this. Oh, we had a reply in here. Yes. Let's see, we could also say any sort of reply to these comments too. So I totally play this game. All right. Let's see. Player one. And then we can resolve this back at the top and keep moving. Let's see, maybe change the font color to white. Let's see exactly where Robert's talking about. So he's talking about down here at the bottom. He's also saying difficult to read. So where is this? Okay, so he's talking about gotta eat them all. So that's actually a good point. That is kind of a tricky font to read. Good catch. So let's go ahead and change this font to something else. We could go very simple with this because I think if we used our reference, which is looking back at any sort of playing card or Pokemon card, they're typically basic fonts used. There's nothing special on most of them. So let's just get something that's nice and easy to read. This should be fine. Do a semi-bold, bold. I like bold. Let's see if keep it lowercase. Okay, difficult to read. Okay, resolved. I think we're good with the readability now. Let's see. Maybe change the font color to white. Just referencing this color here. So this might be a little tricky since we've changed our background to being that holographic gradient. So I don't know, what's a good contrast here? So let's think about this. If we went white, you can still kind of see it. But what if you went white and then we added maybe some sort of drop shadow? Let's see. Just seeing what kind of features we have in here. I think maybe we could try the drop shadow. See how that goes. Let's see, offset, no, up. Let's change the blur. Okay. Yeah, I think that's actually gonna work. Go ahead. Change the white. Hey, that's a good call. So resolve. And then we have our little indicator here showing the rarity of our card. And before we jump into the last few, which let's see, like this face. All right, so we like getting some good feedback on what we like. That's perfect. So resolve, thank you. Let's see, this looks great. Perfect. Thank you, Andrew. We can resolve. So that is actually the majority of what we were trying to review today, which is going through all the comments and reviewing and making those suggestions. So that is such a great tool. And honestly, for a design industry standard, that's going to be a game changer, because we're constantly sharing files and artwork with all sorts of people in and out of our org. So when we start getting some feedback that's so quick to where I can see exactly where you want some edits or some revisions made, that's awesome. That's going to make it really fun and easy for us. Okay, so it looks like I accidentally put a stroke on this at some point. So let's see what happens. We can change this. I don't mind the stroke. It actually gives us kind of a shadow effect. So that's fine. Let's just reduce it a little bit. And now let's just finish this illustration. I think we're off to a good start. I'm gonna pull some guides so that we can get our alignment perfect, because there's a couple things that I even found I needed to adjust. So I want to make sure these are aligned with everything else. Also, what's this little piece right here? That's kind of weird. I think that is in my clipping mask. Yeah, so that's actually part of this design. So here's what we can do with that. We're gonna just adjust this up a little bit. Something like that will work. And those are actually just it's like the grate that's on a barbecue grill. So this little guy's getting cooked. I think that's gonna put the most damage on him. Let's see, we can align these two with our pulled guide that we made, so everything's nice and aligned. We'll move these back over. I wonder if now, since I'm now questioning our choice on this font, maybe it needs to be more legible. Because if I'm looking back at this Charizard example, it's all about legibility. So we can go back quite easily to, could do this font. Always a good font. I like where we are, but I think it needs something a bit more. I think it should be a bit more impactful, or maybe condense. There's a lot of options in here. This is always a fun one. I always like the R on this. So let's actually do this. We'll reduce the size a little bit. can probably change this top. I actually like it in the headline. So he's a meat Pokemon. Keep calling Pokemon, but we're not making a Pokemon card. This is our own thing. This is a foodie card. Okay. Had some placeholder text. What would be the most damage from this? You know what? I'm gonna look up. Let's see. I'm gonna look at nutrition facts. Let's see. We could just put calories. How about that? Heartburn or calories? There you go. Let's max this out. Let's do this like 500. Heartburn's definitely gonna be higher than 30. I don't know what this ranking system is, but we're just gonna keep building these. Let's say 70. We need 2 barbecue cards to get the calories here, and then 1 barbecue card. Oh, that's good. Okay, let's see if we could change the color of this. Maybe white. Give a nice contrast. Still not feeling that. Maybe a tan. Starts to blend in. So I'm just problem solving this color situation. Just so I can visualize everything a bit easier. I'll just play around with some color choices. You know what? Red, actually. Yeah. Let's keep the color palette pretty simple. That's always key with this. All right. What else do we have? I think we're nearly finished. I think for now. Let's see, we could. What if we put a little more expression on this worry face? We can make him mad. I don't know what the hot dog would evolve to. Maybe he would evolve to a corn dog. I don't know. Maybe. But this is gonna be the first stage. And he is mad. Look at this guy. I would not want to fight him. I'll have to fight him in the bathroom later. Because he would tear me up. All right. I think we could do something more. Maybe we could change this. I wonder what happens if we change it to the same gradient. What does this look like? Seeing the gradient line here. Getting a little bit different characteristics than the actual card gradient. Oops. Let's change this and see what white looks like. Yeah, that looks nice. And I think there's some lines that we have on, looking at my reference here. We can put some lines in here. Make them red. Just to break up our design a bit more, give it some more interest. And that to a stroke. Let's see. All right, we'll thicken this up a bit too. Make these like divider lines. Give more space since we have a lot of room here. Group these. Delete that one. There's like a box of text that we want to put underneath. somewhere there, like there. Let's now move this down. We're just adjusting now our design. We've ran through all of our comments and revisions that were noted in Share for Review. So that was a huge help. And now we're just doing some final touches to our design before we call it finish. Perfect. So we still didn't come up with any type here, but we know we want to put more. We have more to say. We want to put it around here. Maybe it needs to go right there. We can adjust this to go down a bit more. Something like that. Perfect. This is about how much type we want. Awesome. And then now what we can do is we can go back to our window and go to comments. And then we should be able to see everything that we have. And when we go ahead and I think it's go ahead and share. Perfect. Update content. Now that we updated it, the link that everyone originally had now has this revised one, and they could see all the edits we've made. They could see all the adjustments we've made, and then we can wait for another round of revisions. And that's how Share Review will work. And it's so good. So honestly, I can't thank all of you enough for following along this week and watching some of the daily challenges that we've all worked on. And honestly, it's been a lot of fun. And this has been really the best part about it, because we got to work together and collaborate a little bit. And that's also very exciting. So my name is Tyler Pate. Thanks again for this week, and I'll see you next time. See ya.